I want you to understand how this whole game is played out. And if you say that you would like to, obviously be rich, be fit, or die trying, and you wanted me to talk to you about the get rich side of this, and we've already given you two different strategy of many I'm going to give you. And the first one, obviously, is God wants you to be rich. Just recap what we talked about last time. The second is if you want to be successful, you cannot have a dislike for people that are already successful or at least going after success. I see that happen so many times when people start out their own business and they go out doing what other people have never done before, maybe in their family or in their environment or their culture, and immediately get ridiculed by the people that are close to them, and they don't understand why that's going on. So my message to you guys that are going after it and not letting things happen to you, but making things happen, stay the course. It's going to happen for you at some point. I know it's very frustrating when your friends and family tell you that you're not going to make it, but listen, you're not going to get wealthy with your friends and your family. I mean, that's some bad news for you, okay? But it's actually good news as well, okay? Because why? Your friends and your family are just that, your friends and your family. And the minute you start mixing business with your friends and family, in most cases, there are some, rare scenarios where family work together in business and there's no problem. But in most cases, if you started your own barbershop and your friends came into the barbershop, are they going to give you more than what you asked for, or they're going to ask for something complimentary or for free? Nine times out of 10, when a family member or friend come into your establishment to support your business, they expect for you to give them, at the very least, a discount. But in most cases, they're offended when you ask them to pay you for services rendered, okay? So why would you want to build your business with the support of your friends and family initially? Okay. Now, when you're starting out right now, you don't have a lot of money to be giving away to friends and family just so they can say you're cool. So what you want to do is in the beginning is maybe isolate yourself from your friends and families, the ones that are not supportive, that don't have your vision.
What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Angelo the Servant King back with another video. Look, y'all know the routine. I need you to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit that notification bell right below the video so that anytime I go live or upload a video, YouTube can let you know. Now I want to say something about that clip, and this is really going to birth kind of the way I do some things now on this channel, because a lot of these videos or these interviews that I watch, they be so full of information, man, and so much wisdom that I really want to be able to go through each one of them. So opposed to me going from interview to interview now, which I still would be changing interviews, but I'm going to take one and we're going to break it down each day. So I want to start, and I keep my iPad here. I have to keep notes, man, because there's so much stuff that I want to make sure that I tell y'all. And if I don't, sometimes I'll go here, because this type of stuff really for me, it get me going. So hopefully it can do the same for you. So first, as he talked about doing business with family or friends, it don't always go how we want it to go. I think like anybody else, I'm normal, or you guys are normal. When you start a business, the first people you looking to support the business is the people in reach. Before you market on the internet, before you do, whatever it takes to get your business out there, you usually start with the people that's in your circle. And the bad part about that is, and I'm glad he used the barbershop example. If you cut hair, or you starting a barbershop business, or you open up your first barbershop, or your friends find out, man, you could really cut. When they want a haircut, is it likely they gonna pay you what you charge and a tip, right? Well, forget the tip. Let's just say what you charge. Is it likely they're gonna pay you what you charge, or they gonna say, man, I'm your dog, I'm family? What's the likely? And once again, like he said, and I have to continue to say this, because there's always somebody who wanna, oh, well, mine didn't do that, and this didn't happen. Of course, there's always an exception to the rule, guys. I understand that, but for the majority, the masses, that's not how it works. the people closest to you, they want a deal. They feel like they deserve a deal because they know you. Or they was with you when you was going to barbering school, or when you first was cutting, when you cutting grass. So they don't want to pay what you charge everybody else because they feel like they special. They feel like they different. So now, if you don't mind cutting a deal for them or stuff like that, which even that starting off is not a good idea, because if you get to the point, which you will one day, once you get to the point where you premium in your service or whatever it is you provide, they gonna want a deal. They listen. They don't want what they pay to increase just because your value is increased. Believe that. So even starting off is kind of bad. But if it's something you want to start off doing and things like that, and you don't mind cutting a deal, that's one thing. But just to be on the safe side, you want to start building outside. And a lot of times it's because we don't want to hear those no's. But to listen, the sooner you start hearing no's, the more comfortable you get with hearing no, and the more relaxed and comfortable you get to keep going. Starting off with friends and family, especially ones that don't understand business. See, a lot of times, family don't understand business. They just understand they want a deal. They want it for cheap. So, think about that as you go into business, as you start the entrepreneurial journey that you're on. The family, your friends around you, 9 times out of 10, not going to be as supportive when it comes to the pay as you would like them to be. I don't want you to be surprised or, hurt when you get certain news. Now, moving on to the next thing, which also has to do with friends and family. They are not always going to support you. That's another thing. When we go from, especially if you've been a workaholic your whole life and that's all you know as a job and that's all they know. When you look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm gonna take this step. I'm gonna take this step of faith. I'm gonna take this leap of faith, and I'm gonna jump out here on my own and build my own empire, do these types of things. They're not. We naturally want support from the people closest to us. It's not always gonna happen. And don't think that this is something that only occurs with distant cousins, right? The uncle you ain't seen in 10 years. No, this could be your immediate family, right? This could be the mom, your father, your brother, your sister, whoever, your best friend. They're not always gonna be supportive. Now, there's layers of different reasons to that. Now, you do have those reasons. You do have those haters, people that just don't want to see you do something different, and that's something we have to deal with in a different case. But I want to speak to the people that sometimes it's not always hate. They just invoking their fears on you. What maybe they tried to start a business 10, 15 years ago, and it didn't work out. So when they say to you, "Hey man, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that route. I don't see that happening." First of all, God didn't give them the vision that He gave you. That's number one. So don't stop looking for support from people who God didn't give your vision to them. Okay. Trust me, and in your path and in your journey, those people will come to you naturally. God will send those people to you. It's going to help you build. 9 times out of 10 is not the person closest to you. Now, if you married, then yes, your wife or your husband should be one of the first people to support. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about blood relatives and things like that. But don't be discouraged, because it could be your mom, it could be your dad that could say, "Man, I don't think you should do that. Don't try that. You need to stick with the job." Blah, blah, blah. A lot of times, it's not them being negative. It's just maybe they had a negative experience with it. So what they want is the best for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be strong enough in your faith, in your will, to, no matter what they say, continue to go for it, okay? Don't get discouraged because the people closest to you are especially if it's somebody who we've looked up to, somebody who kind of raised us or had their hands in raising us, used to give us advice, and we took it and ran with it. Anytime we need to know something, it was them. Those are the people that's gonna say something and it's gonna crush you. Like I say, don't always think it's them hating, it's them negative. Sometimes they had their own experience with it that didn't go left, or maybe they've seen somebody else try it and it didn't work out. So when they telling you, they just putting their fears on you. You know, no malice behind it, but they just can't see it. So that's why you got to be able to see it. Okay? So listen, that's for y'all, man. I know somebody need to hear that today. Maybe you ain't know what to do. You know, oh my God, I told my mom I was gonna start my own cleaning business, and she said, "Oh no, you need to stay a janitor for so and so's cleaning, because that's more reliable." You know, maybe you told your dad, "Man, I'm gonna go start, cutting yards on my own," and he said, "No, you need to keep cutting for so and so's landscaping," and it kind of knocked the wind out of you. You ain't know what to do. Let's get past that. All right, because sometimes the closest people to you, most of the time, if not all the time, they're going to be the first ones to say something that's going to discourage you. You got to be able to keep going, look past what they're saying. All right. Look, man, I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Do not forget to do what? Like, subscribe, share, leave comments, man, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so YouTube can let you know anytime I go live or upload a video. All right.